Hi everyone, Jestin Samson here, candidate for the California State Senate in the 34th Senate District. In this video you will find various candidates who have taken up Bernie Sanders' call to run for office. For many of us, campaign finance reporting deadlines are coming up. So we are asking for your help to make that last second push and to donate whatever you can to us. Whether it's $5, $27, $500, whatever you're able to donate. Because for many of us, the doubters have come out and expressed their views that Bernie's way of financing a campaign will not work. The establishment has very clear. For me personally, I have been told that the only way you can win is to take that corporate special interest money. But for all of us, we have chosen to run a campaign free of special interest money, free of super PAC money, because we believe that if you take that money, you've essentially compromised your integrity. So instead, we are funded by you, the people. So we are asking for your help. Please make a donation. Choose to volunteer for any one or all of our campaigns if you're able to. And let's continue Bernie's call for a political revolution together. Thank you.
As many of you already know, I have been advocating non-stop for healthcare across Nevada as well as across the nation. I've been telling the story of my daughter, Shalyn. 2 years ago, Shalyn went to the emergency room with nearly all the signs, symptoms, and risk factors of a blood clot. Because she was unable to provide proof of health insurance, she was denied the appropriate care, which ultimately led to her dying in my arms from a pulmonary embolism. Her death at the hands of our nation's barbaric, profit-driven healthcare system, tragically, is an all too familiar story. The fight, not only against repealing the ACA, but for expanded and improved Medicare for All, has become my calling. I didn't choose this fight, it chose me. Recently, at yet another town hall, I once again witnessed a self-proclaimed progressive congressman regurgitating the same old corporatist rhetoric, circumventing the real reason our healthcare system is failing: profit. As a businesswoman, I understand all too well that insurance and pharmaceutical companies are solely motivated by profit margins. But I'm not just a businesswoman. I'm a human, a grieving mother, a Nevadan, and now an activist. I know that healthcare is a human right, not just another consumer product. In order to ensure that all Americans have quality, comprehensive healthcare, we must remove profit margin from the equation. We must fight loudly and proudly for Medicare for all. So today, I'm announcing my intention to bring this fight for my home district all the way to Washington. We don't have time to wait around for career politicians, their donors, or special interests to do the right thing. We need bold action now. We need representatives in Washington that understand the stakes of this fight and who will never stop advocating for the people. I'm Amy Villela, and I'm much, much more than a grieving mother. But because I am a grieving mother, I will never give up. I will never get tired, and I will never stop fighting for justice and dignity for Nevadans and for all the people of this country. Stay tuned for more information in the coming days and weeks about my campaign. Thank you. I'm Amy Villela, and I approve this message.
My name is David Hildebrand, and I'm running for U.S. Senate. My first job at 15 was pouring concrete for minimum wage. I went on to work many jobs in many fields, including security, mental health, retail, and food service. I drove a forklift, delivery trucks, and worked in construction. I was told that this is the way it was supposed to be, that if you work hard, you can get ahead. So I continued working hard. Despite working up to 10-hour days in the blistering sun with a 2-hour commute one way and having no free time, I did not grow rich. So it became clear to me that I was not going to be successful no matter how hard I worked. Like most Americans, the working class hasn't seen a wage increase since the 1970s. During the same period, corporate profits have exploded, and greedy CEOs are seeking even more profits by cutting wages, healthcare, and retirement. Well, the majority of Americans cannot set aside any money for savings and can't afford to retire in their lifetime. Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal created the American middle class through strengthening workers' rights to form unions. But since the 1970s, corporate-controlled politicians have attacked working-class Americans through supporting legislation that undermines the American dream. It's become so bad that many younger Americans can't afford to own a home and are putting off getting married and starting a family. It's time to renew the promises our nation has made to us, the working class. We cannot elect corporate-funded and millionaire politicians and expect real representation in Washington. It's time to progress as a nation. Let's institute health care for all, not based on wealth or status. Let's establish a living wage for all workers that allows us to live in dignity. Let's finally get corporate donations out of politics. Together, we can move America forward. Divided, we will only get more of the same. Vote for working class representation and vote for progress now. My name is David Hildebrand, and I approve this message.
Hi everyone, Jestin Samson here, and I am running to be the next state senator of the California State Senate in the 34th Senate District. I'm proud to say that my campaign slogan is that I am powered by you, the people, and not the corporations. And it is a value that our campaign takes extremely seriously, because I personally believe if you are unable to resist the special interests that infect politics today, then how can we expect you to govern for our best interests, rather than those who give hundreds of thousands of dollars to candidates every single election cycle? So I'm proud to say that our campaign will reject all special interest contributions, whether it be oil, pharma, health insurance, etc. For a little bit of background about myself, I was a former Bernie Sanders delegate to the 2016 Democratic National Convention. There, with myself and my colleagues there, we fought for things that the corporate media and that the political establishment refuses to talk about. These include things such as ending the endless wars in the Middle East, passing Medicare for all, putting a complete ban on fracking, and for all of us to take climate change seriously. I'm running on a platform of single-payer health care, of better public schools in California, and to make our state a beacon of education in America, to allow students to attend public colleges and universities in California tuition-free, and for greater economic security, which includes the implementation of a universal basic income system. All of these things are values that I hold very dear, being someone who has experienced what it's like to be living paycheck to paycheck, what it's like to think about where we're going to live. And I hope you would support our campaign. If you want to learn more about me and my progressive platform, you can visit my website, jestinsamson.com. That is JestinSamson.com. Thank you.
America has always been a country about dreaming big.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
We have searched to find the impossible and made it happen. When we come together, we can achieve greatness.
This country is made up of millions of citizens with a strong sense of decency and what's right, and the sense of that I am my brother's keeper. And it's that sense of decency that is why I'm running for the United States Senate.
Today, the U.S. economy is rigged against the middle class. That has to change. We have to move to Medicare for all, not only because it saves money, because it saves lives. We can achieve 100% renewable energy in the next 25 years. Energy sources like solar and wind power are not only safer and cheaper, but they provide new job opportunities. We have to change the narrative of our current politics. The first thing we have to do is stop corporate money from buying the votes of our representatives. There's a movement in this country. It's a movement that focuses on innovation, and it isn't afraid to dream big again. It's a progressive movement, and it's not just coming. It's here.
We explore ideas. That's who we are. And that's who we've always been, and that's what we've got to get back to doing. That's what a progressive is.
If you want to learn more about our campaign and where I stand on the issues, please visit patharrisforsenate.com. My name is Pat Harris, and I approve this message.
I'm Mal Hyman, and I'm announcing my candidacy for the U.S. Congress in South Carolina's 7th Congressional District. I've been a teacher for 40 years in the public schools, in a men's prison, and the last 30 years at Coker College. I worked my way through college in factories and on a commercial fishing boat. I'm running on a platform of common sense for the common good. If you work hard and play by the rules, you should prosper. But elections in this country have become auctions where the wealthiest 1% put 98% of the money in. So I'm not taking a dime of corporate or banking money because no man can serve two masters. It's time we lower taxes for working families like yours and raise taxes on the wealthiest 1%. Tom Rice wants to slash taxes for the wealthy and raise them for you and I. We've got to invest in America. When the wealthy pay their fair share, we can responsibly invest in infrastructure, affordable college, and sustainable energy to create jobs for the future. I believe health care is a human right, and we need Medicare for all. I believe all children have a right to food, health care, housing, safe streets, clean air, clean water. And I believe the minimum wage must be a living wage. Politics in this country have become more heat than light, and we must become more civil and insightful to get things done. Whatever you believe, we can all strengthen our pledge, liberty and justice for all. Since the founding of our republic, when the people lead, the leaders will follow.
It was organized people that defeated organized money. We've seen that with the founding of the Republic. We've seen it with the abolitionist movement. We've seen it with the progressive movement. We've seen it in the women's rights movement, in the labor movement. We've seen it in the civil rights movement, the environmental movement, in the gay rights movement. It's our time to finish the civil rights movement.
It's our fight now. Join us in this battle for common sense for the common good. I'm Mal Hyman, and I approve this message.
How you doing? My name is Tom Prigg. I'm running for Congress in Pennsylvania's District 12 against Keith Rothfuss. I'm a neuroscientist of 20 years. I started out in the University of Pittsburgh. I'm now at Carnegie Mellon University. I'm also a U.S. Army veteran, 82nd Airborne. Not only am I the only veteran candidate in this entire race, but I'm also the only blue-collar candidate of this entire race. I don't have a privileged life. I never have. I come from abject poverty. First time I ever crossed the Pennsylvania border was when I left for the military. Even as I do this campaign, I'm doing this in a blue-collar way. So I work full-time, and I have to work 8 hours a day. I get off of work and then I go immediately to an event or a meeting every single day. And I do this for 7 days a week. Not only that, I have a family. I have a wife, we have 2 small children, 3.5 and 5, and I have a daughter in college. I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm getting it clear that not only was I a blue-collar worker and now in academia, I still am. And this is exactly the kind of person that I am bringing to Congress. Is somebody that can actually set an objective, put their nose to the grindstone and not whine about it. All those things I told you about, being a military veteran, neuroscientist, all that stuff, those are things I did. Those aren't things I am. Who am I? I'm a person that actually is fed up. That's why I leave science for 20 years to run. That's why I'm going to Washington, D.C. to make a difference. I will remove Keith Rothfuss from this seat. He has done nothing. He has spent 3 terms, done nothing for the veterans. He's done nothing for the people. Our district is devastated, economically devastated. We need to change this. I hope you'll support my campaign. I'm Tom Prigg, and thank you very much.
My name is Samantha Priestinson, and I'm running for City Council in Minneapolis, Minnesota for the Ward 3 seat. And I'm running because it's time for accountable, transparent leadership that cultivates our local community and our local economy, and that puts the left and right of politics out the door and starts to move us forward. Our city, this specific ward, is split by the river, and there's 2 sides of the river with 2 specific needs. On one side of the river, we have parts of downtown that are the economic driver of our city, but part of that economic driver of our city needs to be focusing on the other side of the river with our veterans, our college student population, our families, and our elderly population. We need to make sure that we have a budget that reflects our values and puts our priorities first. We have a housing crisis where we have a 2% vacancy rate. We have a homeless crisis where we are kicking our homeless out of their encampments. We have an economic gap where Minnesota is the 2nd worst city in this nation for people of color. We have to start investing in every single corner of this city so that everybody has the opportunity to thrive and we can truly be one Minneapolis. Please make sure that you vote on November 7th and make sure that you remember Samantha Priestinson, Pre for 3, to keep it local.
My name is Jesse Spey. I live in Henderson, Nevada with my wife and kids. When I was 11, my parents wanted a better life for us, a better life that could only be found in America. So we moved here. Like many immigrants, my parents worked very hard to support our family. At the age of 12, I got a job washing dishes at night. Many nights I worked very late and then went home to study. I went on to college and law school. The more America gave me, the more I wanted to give back. After law school, I began serving the people of Nevada at the Nevada Supreme Court. For the last 16 years, I've had the privilege to work as an attorney, helping people in Nevada fight greedy corporations. Today, I have a wonderful family. I'm a husband of an incredible woman who supports and guides me. I'm a father of 3 amazing kids. They inspire me every day to fight for our future. I'm running for U.S. Senate for Nevada because I believe in the American dream. The biggest issue facing our country is a system rigged against working families. We're losing jobs to robots. The housing crisis affected everyone personally, whether directly or through friends and family. Working families are struggling to make ends meet. Donald Trump and Dean Heller have made things worse. I am committed to leveling the playing field for hard-working Americans, bringing in good jobs to Nevada, increasing the minimum wage to allow people to live in dignity, getting big money out of politics so working people can have a fighting chance, making sure college is available for everyone willing to work hard, and that healthcare is a fundamental right for all Americans. It is time for Medicare for all. As a little child, I remember sitting on my father's lap, and him telling me about this great nation called America. American values have been undermined by Donald Trump and Dean Heller. Together, we can stand up and fight back. With your help, we will replace the inhaler and send a strong message to Donald Trump in 2018. I'm Jesse Spey, and I approve this message because it is time to stand up and take America back.